Hi guys, welcome to this full review of this VIVI Electric Skateboard. The Amazon listing says gift package electric longboard with remote control for adults, teens, 350 watts, brushless motor up to 18.6 miles per hour, 8 miles range, maximum load 155 pounds. And it's listed for $169.99 currently, and it has not many reviews. It has a couple of reviews and they are really good. So I bought this and I tested this on 2 rides, and here we have it. I'm starting here inside. I'm going after that outside, and I'll show you everything what we can do with this thing, how capable it is, how comfortable it is to ride, how far we can go, how fast we can go, these things. Here you can see what we get is in the box. We get this thing here where you can adjust, tighten or make it a little bit loose. Here's the thing for the remote control to charge. I think it's micro USB. Here's the remote control. It comes pre-connected, so you can actually just charge the thing, charge the remote control, and then go outside and have a lot of fun. Yeah, here I'm currently charging it. I'm unplugging this thing here. It's really easy to charge. It has this protection here you can close so nothing gets into that, no water, no nothing. You can just press, then you have the blue light, and you also press here and then it's connected, and you can just start the thing and you can see it starts turning and you can stop it. So you have 3 different speeds. You have the low, which is really slow, and then you have a medium, and then you have the high. You can even change that while you're riding on it. It's a little bit difficult with this button here, but in general you can change that. I've always been using the high because everything else is definitely too slow. So we have just 1 wheel here which does the whole acceleration. Charging has been a couple of hours, can't remember how long. It's everything in the manual. I haven't even checked the manual. There's a lot of description here, but if you're used already a little bit to such skateboards, it's definitely absolutely no problem. But I'm going to show you that. Maybe you can see that, I don't know, but there's not much really. There's already German. I think the whole thing in English is just on 2 pages, but I didn't even read that. It's really straightforward, absolutely no problem. And here we have it from the top. Looks still in very good condition. I think everything is really good, sturdy, solid, good wheels, nice grip here. So from everything which I can see here, looks really good. So let's go outside and test and see how it's really performing outside. Yeah, the speed based on the listing, I have it here, or some things here. The listing says actually 10 miles, which would be 16 kilometers, but I have been able to reach 12.7 miles, which is 20.5 kilometers, so quite a lot more based or compared to the listing. The brakes are really super hard. They are actually too hard for my taste, and even when I don't go down, I'm just going straight here. When I pull the brakes here, it almost flips me over. It's really hard to stay on the board when I'm going full speed and hit the brakes fully. And it's also quite hard to get on full speed. Of course, I'm a little bit too heavy. I think the maximum weight they are saying is 155 pounds. I'm around 160 pounds, so of course it's quite a challenge, but it takes pretty long. When I say 350 watts, I have also a longboard which says 350 or 400 watts, and it accelerates much faster. You can see that here, how slow this is. I'm pointing up the camera a little bit so you can see that, hopefully, but it's really not doing much. I mean, it takes a while to get to full speed. So probably I'm getting close here. yeah, probably that's about it now. It's really not much. I mean, it's faster than the listing says, but it takes a while to get up to the speed, and also climbing, yeah, like overpasses for my weight really doesn't work. It will definitely work for half of the weight, like for teenagers 10-12 years or so, yeah, no question about that. It will definitely work, but definitely does not work for me when you're at maximum weight. Yeah, at the beginning it goes and goes and goes, and up and about half of the ramp it will stop. Yeah, I'm not even on halfway, maybe a third or so, and it has fully stopped now. And by the way, I'm on the highest setting here. I mean, here the control, that's on the highest. We have a low, medium, high, and even when I'm on the highest, it doesn't do a lot. When I'm on the lowest, yeah, I'm also going to try that, but on the high it's not very impressive. I mean, yeah, it's not a longboard, it's more like a Nickle board size. What I also noticed with the remote control, we have the battery indicator here of the skateboard. That's not the battery of the remote control. For the remote control you don't have to be worried. The remote control will last forever, and you will only have to charge it maybe for 5 minutes after every use. I think that's the battery indicator of the remote control. It would flash red if it would be low. Here's the indication, I think, of the connection to the skateboard. We can put it in reverse. I'm going to show you that. Here's turn on and turn off. Here's the wheel. The remote control actually itself is pretty good. Absolutely no complaints about that. This wheel is really good. It has this hand strap, which I'm usually using, and you can accelerate. You can see that here, and you can stop, but you can't go directly into reverse. You can only go into forward and then brake. So I'll go a little bit up with this thing, and then we turn it back into red, I think. Yeah, now you can see it's not flashing green, it's flashing red, and that means that it will go into the opposite direction. So you can see that here. Now I can bring it back. Okay, it's not only because it's going down here, it's really because I accelerated this thing here. And of course you can also brake this thing, yeah, more or less. Okay, that's not bad. So this is just with a short press. This is pretty easy. With other ones you have to long press. With this thing you need only to just short press it to reverse, but I don't know why we would need that. I mean, for a longboard which has more or less same shape, front and rear, yeah, why not? But this one here, yeah, there's no need for that. Yeah, when I was on the last way down from the ramp, I tried to brake with the low versus the high, but I didn't find much of a difference. Maybe it's a little bit less aggressive braking with the low, but it's still quite aggressive. I mean, you can get used to that. I'm trying this again without flipping over, so now I'm going into full brake. Okay, yeah, you can see I'm still on the board, but it was quite a challenge. I mean, it's not crazy. I have seen worse. It's not extremely dangerous, but at the beginning, when you do it the first couple of times, it's a little bit scary, and I think it's definitely more than it should be. It would be nice to have like a slow start with the brake and then going more aggressive. This I have seen much better things, like with the Cool and Fun longboard. Of course, it's a different price level, but I think they could still do a better job here. So one of the positive things is regarding the speed. It keeps up the speed almost till the very end of the battery. It's a little bit going down, maybe down to, I would say, 15 kilometers, down from about 20 kilometers max, down to maybe 16, 15 or so, towards the very end of the battery. But I have seen definitely worse, so this is a good thing here. And the grip on the deck, yeah, I'm here a little bit in a strange position here, almost longboard, because yeah, I'm only going straight here. That's much safer here, definitely, when I'm having this position. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not a pro here regarding skateboards, longboards, but I think when I'm going fast, it feels much more safe, and I have this thing straight. You can see that here. It's not extreme speed, but there is some speed, and it's much more safe. If it would be blocked, I could jump off at least up to a certain speed. Of course, not yeah, with 20 kilometers. Yeah, it would be hard, but maybe it would still work. When I go slower, of course, I would be sideways. Yeah, and here you can already see one of the biggest problems with this skateboard. It's already down to one bar here, one LED, and the range, I have tested this the first time when I went on a ride. It went just to 7.79 kilometers instead of about 8 miles, which would be much more, I mean much further. It's a huge difference, a big disappointment. Of course, I'm almost a little bit too heavy for this board, but I'm going just straight. It's pretty disappointing when I compare this to the other longboards which I have. I don't think that you will get much more with a little bit less weight. I mean, for a really young child, yeah, probably it would be possible. Yeah, you can see you can really bend it very easy. I mean, I could probably tighten it a little bit. There is something, and it came with some kind of wrench. You can really tighten this here underneath like normal skateboard, but it's really rather on the soft side here. The good thing is you can do all the things, all the stuff which you are used from a normal skateboard, like from a penny board or from a nickel board. I mean, you can really do nice waves here. You can see. You can also lift the thing up if you want to accelerate like this. It's also possible. Of course, it will ruin the wheels a little bit, and I'm not used to that anymore. I mean, I'm old guy. I've learned this 30 years ago, and I'm not using the remote control. You can see that's just from my thing here. You can really work with that as a normal skateboard. Now I'm accelerating, so you don't have to stop or start, or you can just do everything, but you have the additional engine or the additional motor here. I mean, it has a really nice, solid, good grip, this deck here. Absolutely no complaints. I have the longboards which have an even more aggressive deck, and that's almost too much. You hurt your fingers and your fingernails every time. This one is a little bit better. It's still enough aggressive, absolutely no problem. By the way, once I had a really rather strange situation. I don't know how many times it will happen. I went on the skateboard like this, and I wanted to start it with the remote control, and it didn't do anything. So usually this is no problem. It happened just once. I never had this with the longboard. It was just once with this skateboard here, but I think it's a really rare case, so it looks like it's really reliable. Also, the remote control is very reliable. There's no lags, no nothing, no interruptions, no disconnections, no absolutely nothing. Works absolutely awesome. There is also something noticeable that the faster you go with this skateboard, the more stable it gets. So that's of course a really good behavior. That's really how you want it to be, like with a bike or so. Probably it's some physical thing. I haven't seen that much with the longboard. The longboard is rather hard, or I have also tightened this thing here. This is rather weak, but when I go fast, it gets much more stabilization, or it gets stabilized, so it's not so much of a problem to go with high speed. And yeah, the comfort is really good. I would say it's pretty good for such a small skateboard. I mean, of course, At the beginning you would need to get used to that. It's a different thing. I mean, when you have a large longboard or so, it's much more stable, but it's pretty good. I mean, I'm really not complaining. $200 for that. I would say it's definitely not too much. It's a good value overall. There are not many flows except from the a little bit limited range, which is rather at about 8 kilometers than 8 miles. By the way, towards the end of the charge you will have a blinking red light here, so here it's still solid, and when it goes to the end of the charge, when you have to return home or so, I mean when you're not too far away, you will see a blinking red light here. So I'm pretty close to the end of the video. Really, my bottom line is it's a pretty good value, I would say. Rather solid build, everything good. And apart from the a little bit limited range, maybe it's just my weight and a little bit aggressive or too aggressive brakes, I think it's a solid value. And I put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description, so you can check it out, order it right from there if you like it. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below. I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.